Hello everyone, Vibor here and welcome back to Building with Scope in Public series. So yesterday we ran a workshop and based on the reactions I think we could benefit from doing another nice walkthrough of what we showed because this one is a little bit different. So today we'll be looking at two things, world models and our new plugin architecture for Scope. So yeah, that's right, Scope now does support plugins. It is still in preview, things will likely break, APIs will change. But we'll have it documented. It currently works and I'm super excited to show you how it works. And today we're going to set it up together step by step and see what happens. So if you haven't seen world models yet, stick around. I think that you're going to like this one. So let's start from the scratch. What we're going to do is we're going to install scope-overworld plugin. It is a plugin that brings Overworld's world model into Scope, specifically their model called Waypoint 1 Small, with Waypoint 1 Medium coming soon. Now, if you've been using Scope with models like Kriya, Real-Time or Long Live or pretty much any other model that we support in our pipelines, you know how that generally works, right? You give it an image or a prompt, it generates a video in real time, and you work your way around that. But world models, they are different. So instead of just generating a video, you are generating a navigable 3D world. In that world, you can navigate and move around using WASD controls, mouse look, and so on. So it's like being inside an AI-generated video game. I mean, at least that's the promise. So let's see if we can get there. So the first things first, let's start with our installation. I will switch to my terminal and make sure that you're in your scope directory. If I'll just ls into it to make sure that I'm there, confirm everything looks fine, that's good. All right, so if you haven't installed Scope yet, links in the description. Please do follow the manual installation. We do have a desktop app, but our desktop app currently does not support plugins, so it's not there yet. So we're going to do this the command line way. So as I said, make sure that you're in your proper directory and type the following command. Basically, I will cheat a little bit. I will just copy paste the one that I already prepared. Hit here. So notice here that I'm passing the environment variable, Daydream Scope Preview 1. That basically tells Scope, yeah, I know plugins are preview, just let me use them anyway. This is pretty much the flag that we are using for this purpose. I'm on Windows in PowerShell, so my environment variable passing looks a little bit different than it might look for you guys if you're on a Mac or a Linux system. So yeah, let's hit enter and see what happens. Okay, what happened here, Scope installed and grabbed this plugin from this repo that I showed you moments ago. Now, the next step could be, let's just confirm that it is installed as one of the plugins. So I'll just run UV run Daydream Scope plugins, and it should list my plugin here. All right, scope-overworld, it is listed there. Now, in addition with installing this plugin, it also does install, basically registers it as a pipeline. And I just want to see and get a list of all of my pipelines here. So I'll run again UV run Daydream Scope pipelines, hit enter again, see what happens. It should show me. All right, so Stream Diffusion Long Live Waypoint, that's the one, right? So the Waypoint, the model that we are installing, now we currently have it registered in our scope. So far, so good. Yeah, one more thing that we'll need to be mindful of. So before we run this, the model weights live on Hugging Face, right? And you need access to download them. So you'll need a Hugging Face account with a read token. I already got set up mine, but it generally, you can get it from here. Let me show you real quick. So if you go to Hugging Face, under your account, there is this access token option. I already created mine for Overworld. I have a couple of others. And once you create your token, make sure that it's a read token, give it a name, and then you will get it. So I'm going back to my terminal and I'm just going to copy paste mine. It looks like this. Again, Mac or Linux users, check the README, but syntax for you is slightly different. Instead of this, you'll just have export HF token, but in general, everything should look and work the same. Now my variable is there. Okay, moment of truth. Now I'm going to do UV run Daydream Scope. And that, as per usual, should start my scope. Does a couple of things for me. Okay, I see it's running here. Now I'm going to switch back to browser. Basically, I already had my scope here. I'll just refresh it on my local host. And if I go to pipeline ID under the long live and check it, all right, I have my waypoint here. So now we're in scope, and here's the thing. First time you run this waypoint pipeline, the model needs to download and load. And we're talking about some 15, maybe even 20 minutes for everything to be ready. Our README literally says, go make some tea. And you know, I love that. So if you're following this at home, now is a good time to grab a coffee, touch some grass, do whatever. And I'm going to do a hard cut here and come back when it's ready. So selecting waypoint, hitting play, and waiting for it to download. I'll be back once this is done. All right, so we are back now. So under the pipeline ID, I can now easily select waypoint. And now here's how this works. I'm going to give it a starting image. You can think of it almost as a seed for the world. And then model takes that image and extrapolates an entire navigable environment from it. So let me go and try some of them. So let's go with this one. This was the one that I've used that I've seen being used in our workshop by Yandon. So let's just hit play and see what happens. All right, so it says click to enable controller input. So I will click on it and let me try using my keyboard. Oh, wow. I'm navigating this world. Look at this. Let me look on the side. Oh, wow. And if I use my mouse, I can also look around. This is really cool. And I'm getting about 13.614 frames per second right now on this one. I'm running this on my local hardware, so nothing too crazy. But if I were to run on maybe some even more stronger GPU, I would expect this FPSs to go higher. Let me try this with another image. So I'm going to delete this one. Let's try something else. I'll use this image from the surface of Mars from NASA. And let's see if I can walk on Mars using scope. That'll be kind of fun. It's connecting. I can't believe we can run these things on our consumer machines right now. Okay, so the same stuff. Click to enable. And let me try walking on the surface of Mars. Have I clicked that? Oh, wow. Okay, now I moved to a mouse control completely. Now I'm looking around Mars. So obviously there are some artifacts related to this, and you can see that, it is producing some things that I didn't even want it to do. But keep in mind that these are the really early stages and the first stages of our world models explorations. What I often say is, things are just going to get better from this, even though they look, relatively weird right now in some aspects. But then again, that largely depends on the image and the seed that you are using. Because the model was largely trained on the, first-person shooter games and those kinds of environments, it will generally generate better experiences when, seed is similar to that. I use this image for one of, this is actually an output from one of the previous videos and workshops that I did with Scope. I generated this with Long Live. Let's see if I can navigate this crafty Christmas experience. I'm just curious to see how this will look like. All right, let's see if I can walk around this place. Oh man, I'm going closer to the fireplace. This is so cool. This is so really cool. So keep in mind everything that we are seeing right here, okay? These things are not, these are being, this is the entire world generated in real time as I move, right? So this is not a pre-rendered video. It is building the experience as I go. And, the model will interpret, each starting point differently. And that's kind of a fun of it, right? You never quite know what you're going to get. And you can also see that, models introduces different artifacts with time. Again, this is the smallest model that we are currently experimenting with, and the better ones will come in the future. So quick note at what else you can do here, right? You can also record footage. that's something that we added recently. So if you go to export, you can click on save generation, and it will download the video to your local downloads folder. You can also enable spout sender, and then you can stream to Unity or Unreal. So you can literally pipe this into game engines and create some different experiences. And this is also supported through our WebRTC APIs when you're using Scope as a server. So this gives you full controllability over the experiences that you're going to build. So basically, if you have already experimented with real-time AI video, world models give you a whole new dimension to play with. And I mean like literally whole new dimension, with no pun intended. So this is the scope-overworld overview, and the plugin architecture in preview with the world models in Scope. As I said, early stages, a lot more to come. All the links are in the description, GitHub repo, workshop post about this experience that I did yesterday with more details with Yandan, and link to our Scope Discord and our community hub if you want to hang out with us. If you want to try this out and create something cool, please do drop it on our community hub. We would love to see and feature your creations there. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.